Hi, everybody. We're live, right on time, I do believe, and ready to go. We're going to do an open mic. I thought I'd start the open mic, giving you chance to get in the room. For those of you who are not here yet, um, I'd go and do a quick reading on the week ahead for everybody. This is a collective reading. This isn't a just you, but if you're watching this, it can clearly apply to you. And these are this is tomorrow. This is today, tomorrow. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay? You got the image? And I'm going to put all the images together. Jeffrey and I just finished doing our weeklies, which we do all at once, and we do 3 months at a time. And there are some really wonderful weeks coming up, starting around the eclipse. It just goes bonkers. And tomorrow's the full moon. I'm all excited about the full moon. I'm all excited tomorrow because I'll be doing a show, and it's probably going to be about this time of the day on my book club. My book club endeavor. I'm going to talk about the books and how it's going to structure and what it takes to be part of the book club. So I'm hoping that if you don't come then, you will come later. But to entice you to come tomorrow, I'm giving away a copy. The first set of books I'm doing is called The Accidental Medium. It's a 4-book series. I'm giving away one book for each of the series. So you get the first book, second book, third book, fourth book. I'm going to be doing that in a drawing. And I'm also going to give you a gift today. I'm going to give away one 6-month reading. And in order to qualify for a 6-month reading, you need to put #gift in comments, and YouTube will actually, StreamYard will filter it out and they'll find you for me. So we're going to have the drawing at the very end of the thing. I did a Christmas in July on Saturday. It was all kinds of fun. We gave away lots of good stuff, but JCat Lady got a 6-month reading from me, but I don't have a JCat Lady email. If JCat Lady hears this, you can get a hold of me. Email me there. Email me at Nancy Jean at crystaldirections at nancyjean at gmail.net, gmail.com, I'm sorry. And I will be glad to get that arranged with you. Okay. So what we got going here? Let's look at the coming week. And I am taking questions in the comments. It would be very helpful if you would put them in caps. Hi, Dr. Gail. People are piling in with their want a gift. So what's going to happen the next 7 days? Today is actually going to be a good day. People are going to be feeling really good about things, but I think for those of us who are in a calm place where the earth doesn't shake, our hearts and our thoughts and our blessings go to the people in Japan who have just suffered a 7.0 earthquake like a few hours ago. It really tore through a very, very populated area, and it flattened a shopping mall. And it was right at like late afternoon. They said it was sunset, so I don't know when the sun sets in Japan, but anyway. But for the rest of us, for many of us, we're going to be feeling uplifted about things. Things are going to be sensing things are going more the direction we want. Tomorrow's going to be a bit of a, oh my God, this may, when I saw the Empress come out and I looked at it and I thought about tomorrow on a personal level, this is my house. There's so much cleaning up I need to do and so much straightening around I need to do. And maybe it's a universal straightening out sort of time. It's also the full moon. It's also the day I'm going to be doing the book club, my introduction to the book club. But that's on a personal basis. For the world in general, I think the little world's going to be coming to terms with what's happened to Japan because the tsunami's not ruled out yet. And we know what happened last time they had a big earthquake in that part of the country. Then this is Thursday. Thursday, we're going to be feeling like we're treading water. This isn't that we're not going anywhere. It's just that where we are, we're kind of stuck. And we need to kind of think in terms of unsticking ourselves. And then Friday is going to be a good day to get together with people, let your hair down, go do something fun, enjoy yourself. Don't get weighted down. I know bad things happen all the time. We just know about them way more quickly than we used to. And Friday's going to be a good day for universally for us to be able to let our hair down, do what we need to do. Saturday's kind of a day of rest. I think if you've got a whole long laundry list of things to do this Saturday, it's going to be too hot, too wet, too something, and you're going to just need to slow it down and do what you can do. And then Sunday, it's going to be a day where we're going to feel like where we look back and we feel like we're starting to see some things moving. We're starting to feel things are moving on a personal level, and on a more universal level, things are moving forward because the Queen of Wands is the queen of endeavor and creating new good things for us. And so she should be there. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles is going to raise her head up next Monday. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. When we were doing the show on Saturday, we had a guy show up who said, what's going to happen to crypto in the next 6 days? He said, like this week, starting Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So this would be the other 5 days that would have been involved in his question. And there were 4 different readers, one in New Jersey, me in Texas, one in Louisiana, and Jeffrey in Mexico City. And we all got, don't get into crypto. Now is not the time to put your money there. It is not. I'm not sure. I think any time isn't, but the cards were definitely saying no. And so I just think there's going to be a downturn in markets. It's going to sour people's attitudes. But if we look at the things we can do something about, I can't do much about the pirates on Wall Street and what they do to people. But I can change my own attitude about it, and I'm not in. My investments aren't there. And so that's not what I'm investing my time and energy into. I'm investing my time. I'm going to spend some time on Friday really relaxing, because I'll tell you what this week has in store for me. I thought this was going to be sort of a calm week. And because of my reading with Dorothy Morgan, we decided that on the full moon was the best day to announce the book club and explain about what it is. And you're going to have to come back tomorrow, because I'm going to keep talking about the book club, but I'm not going to tell you the particulars, so you're going to have to worry about that. But she said the 29th, and I looked it up, and if I do it at the time I normally run my show on my own personal chart, that's a Jupiter hour. That's when Jupiter's doing great things, so it's in time for great expansion. This is something I've kind of wanted to do for a while. So come over tomorrow, find out all about it. But I thought this week was going to be very kind of not real heavy. Well, then tomorrow I'm doing a show with Danny Shea. Not tomorrow, Thursday I'm doing a show with Danny Shea on 88 Lionsgate. And Danny and I did a show on 88 Lionsgate 4 years ago. And we both had the same dream at the same time, and we talked about it the next day and decided we needed to explain to people about Lionsgate. Lionsgate is actually 88. 88 is the absolute middle of it. It's starting now. And what happens during Lionsgate, it's when our planetary system, where we are, lines up to the galactic center. It happens once a year because it rotates around. And it's a very interesting time. We're going to do a whole show on the power of 88's Lionsgate, on the energy of 88 Lionsgate. 88 is money and power. The number 8 is money and power. If you're doing it right. If you're not, it's going to feel like you're being impoverished. And let's see what we got going. And I'm going to give the gift away at the very end. And I'm going to check the rest of these questions so I can just kind of run down the questions. Oh, yes, there was a tornado in Wisconsin. I forgot. And several parts of Europe are burning to the ground. In Wisconsin, Appleton is a really pretty little town, and actually, that's where Sean's supposed to go and run a big major part of the Wisconsin electoral campaign for the coming season. He was not in Wisconsin when it struck. He's going to be here for a little bit longer, but his business partner was up there, and I haven't heard back from Sean if anything happened to him. And I'm checking y'all out for questions. Okay. And I don't know. It's politics. I won't talk about it. But if you want to see about how we're all paying for a lot of really stupid mistakes, go look at Rachel Maddow's show last night, because she's talking about the parts of the government that have been closed down and how we're paying for it now. Okay. We're going to start with our questions now. And we've got 9 of them. This came in from someone who followed my posting. Are things going to lighten up in my life soon? I've been feeling very heavy and lost. Thank you. So we're going to go back to the table. I hate to keep doing that to y'all, but I think it reads better on the table. Okay. We're asking the universe. I think it's going to lighten up in Michaela's life. And I get a feeling it's an 8-week process here to get it to getting, but I'm not sure. We'll see with the cards. Cards may give me a date time. I'm not sure. Cards are crappy at dates. That's you upside down. Keep trying to get things going. You also have a child or a young person involved in this. It's not making it any easier. I think, yes, you're going to have to get away from some of the people you've been relying on. This shows that they've stopped you from going forward, and it may be trying to help that child a little too much. Let them solve some of their own problems. There is a male figure in your life who can be very helpful to you, and he can change you from having to be the one who does everything to being the woman who has the Queen of Pentacles, who has the grounding to be able to handle everything. But I think you're going to find, and the 5 of Pentacles, usually in a traditional deck, that's the couple that's trudging outside the church in the snow. Why are you getting that card? Girl, you got too many people in your life. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people in your life. That's way too many folks playing in the game. Because the cycle you're working on isn't at an end yet. Part of that cycle is learning how to let people go and to not weigh yourself so heavily on everybody else's judgment. You're listening to when people are telling you what you ought to do, and it's like I heard an astrologer say yesterday, you should listen to people, listen to the advice they may choose to give you. But when someone comes in the room and says, you should do this or else, that's when you can tell them to say goodbye. And I have a feeling you have a lot of people pushing pressure on you to do things you already knew weren't going to work. So let's see if I can. I'm looking for date cards. 7, 9. September's going to 9. Between September and November is when you're going to get some justice and some fairness back in your life. But until then, it's really your battle to wage, and it's a lesson you're going through in your life that says you're feeling lost because you're listening to other people's instructions. You need to listen to the instructions of your own guides. And keep in touch with me and let me know how it's going, because we're all in a time when it's it's cast off city, get rid of crap for us. Really is. I'm feeling a change coming in September. I'm thinking maybe upturn financially. Okay, let's see. Never, your contacts are pretty good. Never was at my, she was part of the Christmas show. Thank you. As was Sherry and Nancy Cast, who's just reopening her channel, and Jeffrey from Mexico City. So. Okay. Change coming for Nivra. And what kind of change would it be? You're not having to leave where you've been. Yeah, you got change coming. You got the Tower. And it's going to be in September. But it's you're not going to have to move from where you are to, and it's change. You know, when people see the Tower, they think, oh my God, disaster and thing. No, it just means you're going to finally get pushed to make the change you need to make. Let's see what's this Tower about. And it's about something or someone you've been waiting on for a long time, and you're going to have to come up and make some more. You're going to have to finally make a decision. The sword of Ace of Swords is upside down. Time to go. That's a, one reader explains it as the speed bump ace. It's like you get moving and then it puts a speed bump up, and all those speed bumps are put up to help you make the right decision. When is the end? Okay. Yeah, by the end of September, I think, and going into October is when you're going to be able to lay down a lot of the burdens you've had on you. You can't get out of them now. You'd like to, but you're looking inside yourself. So this card tells me you ought to listen to your own instincts, Nivra, that you have a strong feeling about what you need to go. I'm not saying anything to you that you don't know in your heart. But the problem is none of it's happening fast enough. In a world that seems to be getting increasingly fast, nothing's happening fast enough for any of us, myself included, let me tell you. Hey. I hope that helps, Nivra. Job hunting. Okay, let's see if we get a... Let's see. I got a feeling, I'm getting a feeling that something's going to pop up and it's going to help guide you through, and then it's going to be later this year or early next year that what you really want is going to show up. But BG in California, what you got? It's actually what one change is coming at you very quickly. You've just had some boss problems. One of the problems that you have, and I saw this when I read your question today, you've had a series of bad bosses, and you kind of carry that in when you interview with people, when they meet you. They're like, you don't even know you're doing it, so you need to really seriously consider if you want to move things forward, because they could move forward for you. You've had to get the bad boss vibes out of your speech. Look at this person as a new beginning. Look at each person as a new beginning. Yeah. Yeah, you've had that. This person, the way this person's treated you is one of the things that's made you want to get off the skiff and go find something new to do. I do see something new coming, and it's this fall. It's this fall when crops are coming in. Let's see what we can see about the King of Wands. That's the wrong one. I'm going to shuffle before I put any more on this. King of Wands. Yeah, that's the guy who's going to give you the job. But like I said, you're going to go there and you're going to find out he's going to have sold you one thing, but it's going to be another. Take the job because it's going to lead to the next job. So I got a feeling you're going to have a job. And I know it's frustrating because I hate changing jobs. That's why I'm self employed. Because the only person who can tell me I'm bad is me, and I tell her to shut up. Um, this is it's going to be a chance for you to move forward. Uh, it's tasks that you like and that you're good at, but he's telling you one thing, and then there's going to be a shift in the jobs again. But by going to that job this fall, you will get led to your next one. Hope that works, BG. I've been emotional wreck lately. Do my guys see my daughter-in-law ever letting me, accepting me, and allowing their children to get close to me? Okay. We're going to do 2 lines. One at the top line is you, and the bottom line is the daughter-in-law. So, you got 2 5s. She knows tarot. 3 shifting wheels. You got 2 5s, girl, and that means chaos or change. That means the change, and this is the change. You're doing okay keeping yourself balanced. Your problem isn't the problem isn't you. The problem is the marriage that your daughter-in-law is in. And if you look at square in the face, instead of blaming yourself, instead of saying, "What did I do?" You didn't do anything. Okay, now daughter-in-law. Okay. Daughter-in-law's had some problems in the past. She's getting more temperate about things. It's really over one child. There's one child she's extremely jealous of, and I don't know why. A little bit. She's not an introspective person at all. But if you will wait out this cycle, she will be coming around, because I don't think she can stop you from doing that. She just doesn't want to look inward, and you look inward, and she sees the peace you can get for yourself by looking inward. She doesn't have any. I don't know anything about your daughter-in-law. I've never really talked about her, but I think she came from a family of drug, sex, rock and roll. So she has a lot of the insecurities of adult children of alcoholics, or her parents were addicts, or if they weren't actively using a substance, they were using their jobs or their position in the community. So anyway, 100 other things too, and that's messed her up. And she's seeking balance in her life. So instead of saying, "Why are you keeping my grandchildren from me?" you need to be working on helping her get stronger when you think about her, the mental picture you frame around her. And let's see, who's this kid? Yeah, it's this little boy. It's this little child that she is extremely attached to. She doesn't want anyone else to have power over him, and she gave birth to have someone to love. And if she thought you might in some way take that child away from her, she's not very secure in her marriage either. And I'm not blaming her son-in-law, and I'm not blaming her. I'm saying that girl needs to talk to somebody. Will I get approved for SSDI next year? Oh, Carol. Will Carol get SSDI in 2027? Got a better chance of it than this year, let me tell you. Springtime. Yeah, you're going to get it in springtime. It's not going to be everything you wanted, but it's there. And it's going to take such a burden off of you to finally get this settled. You've been working with a counselor or someone who knows the system a little bit. I mean, more than this reader knows it. And it's never going to get really straightened out until our government changes. But it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's there. But the best card for you is you got the Ace of Spring. So it'll be spring starts March 21st. Okay. How will Mimi Nee's visit go with her sister? Mimi Nee's sister. Woo! Oh, so it's going to be, you don't have to push anything. You don't have to worry about it. Mimi, just go and enjoy yourself. You two are going to be able to get back together. A lot of the things that attached you when you were younger that were positive are going to be there. Neither of you is going to be passing judgment on the other because you both have just decided you are where you are. And you're going to be like kids again. You're going to be like a Paige. You're going to be able to talk. I think it's going to be a wonderful trip. Enjoy yourself completely, please. I love good news readings. Okay. When my daughter-in-law had her car accident March 17th. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to get a face on the person that's there. To reach into that level of specificity, Sandra, that's kind of hard. But I'm going to see what I can see about the accident, and maybe it'll tell me. I have a feeling it was a male energy that was in the seat next to her, and it was someone who had tried to warn her at other parts of her life to slow down and turn things down, and she hadn't. Anyway, let's see what we got. Yeah, she wasn't ready for it. She was mad. She didn't want to die. It's been a real material lesson for her, and part of her is learning to walk away from some habits she's had. I don't think she was under the influence or anything else. I think she just runs around kind of angry. I don't know if that's reaching. And this person has been around her whole. They've been the angel next to her that said, you don't have to be pissed at everybody. Everybody's not out to get you. Don't worry about it. And I don't think she was speeding or anything like that. She wasn't in any danger of dying. But she's the Queen of Swords upside down. She tends to slash out before she thinks, and she wasn't ready for it. Whatever was going on around her in her life, she went out driving angry. And I think sometimes driving angry can hurt you worse, but it's been a real lesson for her, and she's learned to not get that bound up again. I hope she wasn't hurt. I didn't see her getting terribly hurt. I think she got real scared from it. Okay, we're going to do interview 1 and interview 2. Jen, Lily, you put the name on interview 1 and interview 2, and I'm going to lay them out that way. So we're going to start with interview 1, since I like to do things in that kind of an order. That one could be really a good job. You interviewed for something like it in the spring of last year, and this card right side up or upside down means the money's there for it. But you're kind of undecided about it. Although there's some things about it you really, really like, it's a real balancing act. Let's see if job 2 does better. Okay, job 2 is better even though it doesn't have as much money. And it's going to be a position where you can sort of use all the skills you've built up at this time and sort of dump them all in one place. It's the mood at that company is a little more emotional than you might like, but it is a way for you to get out of the situations you've been in before with jobs. Either one of these, I would say you could take and be a winner. This one, all the money's right there. This one has a little more risk. They're not as good at planning, but there's 2 nights. You have a night in each one of them. You can pick whichever one you want, hon. You got a night in both of them. And even the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles upside down just means the second company isn't as good at long-term planning as the first one. Will I get the contract I'm supposed to sign for a potential business partner, and how will it go? Will it be fair to me? That's a lot of questions in one. Let's start with will you get the contract, and then because if you're not going to get the contract, all the rest of the questions are moot, as in there is no answer. Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow. That's why I was telling you, no, you're not going to get that contract. And one of the reasons is they want to use your skills, but it's not fair to you. Hold on, I see other ones coming. I mean, you can sign it and get whatever you can get out of it. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying. What I'm saying is you have other options coming towards you. Okay, everybody, let's see, where are we? Hashtag gifts is going to get you a free reading from me at the end of, not today, but it'll be like a private reading. So if you want to get in my drawing, I'm going to be doing that. Yeah, Sharon Sipe, you're right. Say love and prayer and hugs to everybody, because you never know what's going to happen. Oh no, Jean, I've got you on my calendar. Oh no, 2:30. Okay, got times mixed up. 2:30 my time, which I don't know which time zone you're in, but if you're on the East Coast, it'll be 3:30. So, yeah, Jean, I have you on my schedule. I didn't make it plain, I guess. I hate time zones. And Sandra Dell said I was right about whatever. Oh, her daughter-in-law's accident. Yeah, well, you just have to. With your daughter-in-law, you have to go carefully, because she's working on her own stuff too, and okay. Here's a question. I just finally moved last November. Was it a good move? Will I be able to relocate this year? I'm going to put this in 2027. And will things work out better for me if you relocate 2027? unless you mean 2026. Not until after spring. The problem is money. And are you trying to avoid people not living near family or something? Hope, Suzanne, because this shows that there's some hesitance about being close to your own family that makes this a difficult choice. Right now, you'd want to get further away from him. Um, I'm going to see. Will she be able to relocate on her own? That's 100% yes. You need to be relocating on your own without considering other people, without diving into what problems they may have. And do you have these could be children, even if your kids are grown and a foot taller than you. These are children. I think I think you've been trying to avoid family problems somehow, and you need to go to the place that feels really good for you. And there is a kind of astrology which I do not practice since I'm not an astrologer, nor do I play one on TV. But there's a thing called astrocartography, and it can tell you the best place to live. So if you have options of places to live, they can tie your stars on your birth to places and tell you if it's a good place to be. Oh, Mimi Lee's happy with her son. Okay. My brother's family has been more distant from me in several years. My niece quit inviting me to family events. Did I do something to invite this into your life? I'm going to ask if what's going on with that family that they're choosing to exclude you. Do you have a sister other than your brother? I know you said your brother's family, but it's okay. In the long run, it's going to be okay for you. They just There's something about the power around you, Kay, that upset them. I don't know whether it's your attitude, your beliefs, your politics, whatever. But be patient because they're on a road to finding out where they need to be. Part of the problem is they don't know where they need to be. And you will eventually be re-included because you have the Nine of Pentacles back in the garden. And then it's going to be your choice. Do you want to go be with those people? Maybe you will have found your own tribe and understand that all of the connections we have to family are not genetic. Okay, wait a minute. Christy Storms, hubby is trying to die on me again. Not really. Yeah, he has some health complaints left over from his military days. Admitted into the hospital this morning with severe abdominal pain. May have emergency surgery. Okay. I want everybody to light a candle. Here's your candle, Christy. Christy, you can call me. You know how to get a hold of me. We can set up a quick reading for you. I don't want to do it in front of everybody else. But Christy's been kind enough to allow us into her life to look at her crazy ass house that's on Native American land, cursed by elementals, has aliens on it, and had a bad farming family that was refusing to leave. She got rid of all that. She got all that out of her life, guys. So you're a strong woman. Okay, let's see what's new in the comments. Okay. Yeah, Kay, a lot of those folks are about to go through a huge shock when they realize what they've really been believing in is the other side. And I don't say that lightly because, like Jeffrey and I just did 3-month readings, and there are going to be some revelations that are going to shake people. And it's not because I'm a Christian and I belong to a church, but I was actually this is true confessions. My first husband was a Methodist minister. People are lighting the candles for you, Christy. And I will tell you, I've seen the church from the inside, and Kay, I think more than anything, they resent that they couldn't turn you into their little puppet. And don't do that, because I'm going to do a quick, just a who you are reading on Kay Miller. And then we're going to go play drawing. Yay! Who's Kay? You're going to come out on top. This is the past life that's affecting you most right now. And you had things pretty balanced in that life, but you were a warrior. You fought in that life, but you kept things balanced. But you're always having to move on. And I think part of this longing to have a family, so you know those things are set up, is because you don't want to have to move on anymore. That was at the base of your past life. I see you in a very formal uniform. So you weren't like it was like Middle European Army uniform. There's some part of Middle Europe, or what we used to call Eastern Europe, which is actually Middle Europe, Eastern Europe, that you've always wanted to travel to and be part of, Kay, and that longing is to go back and see that land that you fought for. Anyway, you came into this life feeling very imprisoned in your options. You have 2 8s, which this whole lifetime for you is to be money and power. You chose not to come in as a man, and once you got here as a woman, you began to realize how powerless you are. At times, the way society was set up, it's changing rapidly. The divine mother is coming. The divine feminine is coming. Don't worry about it, because you're going to end up on top, girl. You're going to conquer all these things. And this has been an important life lesson for you to understand, because you could win when you were being a guy, except you had to keep moving on and moving on. And this life, you chose to plant yourself in one place. And I also think you may have liked being in the military until, I think in World War I, you were in a prisoner of war camp, and that's where you died. And so you didn't want to come back as a man. You took your time coming back, and you took your time. You consciously, I think if you have someone do a good long look at your Akashic records, you're going to find out you came into this life to not have to be the soldier, not have to be the one who fights, but when you chose a feminine form, it's been very awkward. I don't know where you grew up in your family, but you felt very imprisoned. But those were all choices you made, and you're conquering them. And no, you are not going to be a man, and that's what you chose. I'm not going to put on a man suit and play like I'm a man and play that game. I'm going to be who I am. You're going to come out on top. This card says you've had a lot of different jobs, roles, skills, and abilities to use in this life, and that just means you're an old soul. And when you talk to psychics, there's none of us that haven't had 23 jobs. I mean, it's just amazing. It's because everything's sort of a shiny thing, and it calls our past lives to pull us into that. But you have the strength now. You're going to come out on top. Don't worry about them. You need to create your own family in your own way. That creating your own family is the fastest way to get out of being in the 8 of Swords, because then you have the strength to pull all those swords out of the ground. And for everyone who's listening, that's a lesson for all of us. That shadow work. Okay, I'm going to do the reading now because people are having to leave. I'm going to do the gifty thing. I'll post in my next thing who got it. And so if you're not here, you can get it. Everybody put in gift. Okay. We're going to go to gift, draw. Hope Suzanne, you did win. So Hope Suzanne, you need to send me your email so that I can get it to you. And you had to have the name in by now. I'm sorry, Christy Storms. Christy, you can call me. We'll set it up. And with that, it's unless anyone has a pressing one-of-a-kind question they have to have answered right now, I'm going to go get ready for my show tomorrow. That will be about the book club, and that's going to be a function of membership. I've had 40 some people who've been members for years. They go back to the Oracle Garden. I would occasionally do member things, but this is going to be a real hardcore push to get you guys some more content, and to the people who really support my channel. Yes, contact email crystaldirections.nancyjean@gmail.com. And I will look forward to seeing all of you there tomorrow. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be giving away, there's 4 books in the set. I'm going to give away 1 book to 4 each person, the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. And they're fun books and it's a really good read because you see what it's like when you're a middle-aged woman and all of a sudden one day you realized, I'm a medium. That's why the series is called The Accidental Medium. And I'll have in the show tomorrow, I'll explain where you can get the books, the places I found that were the cheapest. You can also get them at your public library. It's a well-distributed book. You can also get it off audiobooks. If you have a tendency not want to read books, I listened to it the first time I had the book, and the woman who wrote the book reads the book, and she's from the northern Midlands of England. She's got what they call a Geordie accent. And so it's great fun listening to her. It's not so thick you can't follow it, I guarantee you. But she was an actress and she reads all the roles. And it's just fun. When you hear her read it, you kind of get the real feeling because she can do the posh London as well as the Geordie. Anyway, I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. And you have a lovely day and try to stay out of the heat. And Christy, our thoughts and minds are with you. Bye-bye.